Hello, this is KO Brickbot, and I'll be reviewing the 2019 re-release of Fron Police Car. The original Avante Fron Police was released in July of 2014, and this 2019 not Avante Fron Police was released in April of 2019, and its retail price is about 50,000 Korean won. Now let's play Spot the Difference between the Hyundai box and this unlicensed box. On the right side, there used to be a KBS logo here, but back when the original Season 1 was airing on KBS, but that's a long time ago, so it's no longer airing there. And there used to be a QR code here, and there used to be a Hyundai logo here, and there used to be a 1/21 scale here, and there used to be an Avante here. And the Sonokong logo is replaced with the ChoiRock Contents Factory logo. Oh, and it looks like the original had paper twist ties, while this one has plastic twist ties. And the back of the box shows off all the features, mainly the accessories. And the bottom is slightly arranged differently compared to the original box. Interestingly, of course, the Hyundai symbol was changed here, but instead of the standard Carbot logo, it looks like this is actually the Season 1 Hello Carbot symbol. Interesting. Alright, it's time to dispatch Fron out of the box. Here's Fron Police Car out of its packaging. And it looks like there's some extra layer of protection here for the bottom here. I think Fron's robot mode design is pretty good, but somewhat oddly proportioned. And by that I mean his legs are a little bit long, his waist is quite thin, and his arms are quite short. So comparing Police Fron with the regular Fron, you can see the color differences here. Besides the outer car color, the original Fron's primary colors are blue and red with some white and painted silver accents, while the Police Fron's primary color is dark gray and blue with some yellow and black accents, and some chrome silver pieces. And it looks like Police Fron has some less paint applications compared to the original, mainly the metallic silver. Like, his shoulder pieces here are two-tone, while this one is all chrome silver. And this chest has some more silver detail, while this one is unpainted. And he has some little blue here that Police Fron doesn't have. And contrasting their very different head sculpts, the original Fron, I would say, is very streamlined and angular and swept back, while the Fron Police's head sculpt is like a police helmet, I would say, with a black visor and a silver face. Same character, two very different heads. The original Fron only has two accessories, these two little revolvers, or machine guns. While Police Fron's machine guns, revolvers are black. And they're very nicely sculpted, plus they don't have any very big obvious notches or latches for very specific holes. But these 5mm holes are basically attached to the end of handles, instead of these being the whole handle. So if you cover these up, they do look like regular pistols until you see that, and they just look like pistols with a peg on the bottom. So this may annoy you, or this may not. There's quite a few options for equipping these pistols on Fron. You can put him in his hands. Although I think the arm and the wrist bends in at a slightly inward, so might be a little bit awkward. Or if you want to do it if you want to put these on storage, you can put them on the back of the legs here. The vehicle mode storage, you would put them in here, but since they're folded up in this mode, you can't do that unless you do this. And finally, there are two holes here that you can plug the pistols on his shoulders. And that frees up space for his two added accessories, this police baton or police laser sword, or this police gun, and this big shield. So this thing has two modes, like the baton or sword mode and the laser gun mode. You can simply push this to make it push out and flip out. Pretty neat. Yeah, so you can equip it like that. Or this. Although I think although the handle is 5mm compatible, it's a slightly loose, slightly odd shaped. Plus this light shaft itself is also 5mm, so if you want, you can plug it in the other way. Then there's his big light shield, which runs on two LR44 batteries included with the toy. So you can press this button, which by the way looks like the ChoiRock's Contents Factory logo used as a power button. Very sneaky. So you press this, and you get a siren sound, and then press it again. Not sure what that sound is. Kind of sounds like a mechanical sound, or maybe the light shield in effect. And some other details are this white and red striping with Carbot here and police here. And I also wanted to point out the illustration compared to the reality. I mean, look at this. This laser sword is way too small. It kind of looks like it's just been photoshopped into his open hand. As with the shield, this thing looks way too small compared to this. Some blatant photoshopping there. Now, looking at his articulation, his head is on a ball socket, so it can go full 360. With some nice little wiggle room there. No waist articulation. His arm can go full 360 with ratchets. It can go inward and outward that much. But I think if you fold this back piece down, you can get some more flexibility. No bicep swivels, as usual. Some ratcheted elbows. The ratcheted thighs can go back that much. And then you can spread it out to go that much further. And forward that much. Full 360 thigh swivel. A little over 90-degree knee bend. And some foot articulation for transformation. Time for size comparisons. Here's Generations Armada Megatron, Masterpiece Movie Bumblebee, Unite Warriors Wheeljack, and the Star Wars Mission Series Stormtrooper. And I also have the original release of Police Fron in used condition. So just by looking at this, these two look almost exactly identical, but when they're in vehicle mode, you really see the difference. The transformation's slightly complex, and not sure how well a 3-year-old would be able to transform this thing without breaking it. But first, let's go for the upper torso. So you unlatch these, fold these out, fold the elbows in, fold that out and kind of leave it hanging like that. This is where some force is required. You really have to push hard to get these tabs on the arms into the slots on its waist. But first, I think we should match this. Unpeg these windows and turn them around. And then first you have to unlatch the waist. Then fold them inward. And then have the windows cover these bits of the leg. Okay, now let's try snapping that into his waist. Okay, there we go. Now the other side. Okay, then snap that all in here. And then take his pistols and then plug him in when these doors are folded in. And then finally fold in the feet. And we finally have Fron Police in his Korean police car mode. This is a near real replica of a Korean police car you would see in real life. So Korean police cars decos are basically white with blue and yellow stripes and this Korean police symbol. This 2019 re-release of Fron Police Car is not a 2013 Hyundai Avante GDI police car. This is a 2013 Hyundai Avante police car. As you can see, the original version has a Hyundai logo that fits perfectly within the Avante's small grille, while this new version has a Carbot symbol that's specially remolded, but it kind of sticks out of the grille. And also looking at this from the side view, this new symbol really sticks out like some sort of wart or zit on a nose. Or it sticks out like a really big nose. And the back has also been remolded. The original has a Hyundai symbol that overlaps here, but this one is remolded to have no symbol, so it's perfectly symmetrical. Apart from that, no other discernible differences. And comparing this with the original Fron in its Hyundai Avante mode, some color differences are he has some police Fron has some black painted windshield wipers, while this one doesn't. The top is remolded to fix a siren with a chrome middle. The front of the original has some more silver details, while this one is blank. And the original has Avante and GDI here. And he has a black painted back here, while this one is all white. Something slightly disappointing is that you can't store these two extra accessories in vehicle mode. For one thing, the shield is obviously too big. But you can sort of loosely store this light baton on the underside of the car. So what I've done is try to put them in these screw holes in his legs here. You may have to split it apart a little to get in there. Then you can kind of push the handle. Yeah, so it's kind of loose, but it kind of gets fit in there. Yeah, but it can be easily jostled out. Yeah, I really wish they would have made these holes bigger so that they can fit perfectly in here, so that this can be stored nicely. But this is unofficial and loose. Yep, it can easily flop out like that. Yeah, just once you get at a right angle, once you get this handle at a good angle, you could have it slightly loose hang loosely from that. Although it'll probably scrape on the bottom of the floor. Speaking of scraping, these knees really stick out a lot. So while the thing rolls by on a smooth surface, these things can easily get scratched up if rolled along a rough and uneven hard surface. As shown with this used thing I got. Some kids would obviously rub this thing even harder, so this thing could get really white. And other size comparisons. Here's Generations Armada Megatron. Masterpiece Movie Bumblebee, and the Pentastorm component of Fron Police. So the Pentastorm version has chrome wheels, but a silver painted light bar middle instead of chrome. And a bit of trivia. In the Hello Carbot cartoon, Fron's police car model is used for every generic police car. Fron police car is one of the Hello Carbot products with a very high demand. This re-release alone sold out by the end of the month. But like I mentioned in other videos, the Carbots and Fron police car were released last year in Taiwan. So this may or may not be still available to buy at Taiwan. But if you want to get the original Avante licensed version, the only way to do that is to either find a used listing locally in Korea or order a replacement part from the ChoiRock Contents Factory customer service. While supplies last, I assume. So I'm going to be swapping out this part eventually. Now that 3 of these classic Emergency Mode Season 1 Carbots released, that leaves just 8th Rescue yet to receive the delicensing treatment and Korean re-release. Thanks for watching. Please consider leaving a like, leaving a comment, and subscribing. And this is KR Brickbot signing off.